have to take care of anyone really.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, you don't make food.
I'm gonna get back to that actually. I'm actually gonna get stuff to make pasta or lasagna. All right, so I'm gonna actually work on my finances. I don't know exactly like how I want to do this video. Definitely helped me. Are you leaving? Yeah. All right, so ever since then, it really was a goal of mine. I could have sworn like I bought, okay, this video is probably gonna be a bunch of things. I'm gonna go ahead and charge these. I've got this little JBL speaker. This is probably one of the cutest things I think I've ever bought. How am I out of breath? I was down there. I got this mic and I started like loving riding our bikes. We really didn't get into things like that until she went to college, and it was like that first house that I bought that I shouldn't have sold. And we were riding our bikes and she was like playing her music on her phone, and it was like hard. It was like hard to hear. And that's when I came up with this little concept, have like a Bluetooth speaker. And I love it has the clip. And it's just perfect, because if we have a basket, like clips to it, won't fall out. So I'll link this in case like you want to do something like that. So I'm going to charge it. And then I'm going to charge this old gal. She prints my little Bluetooth printer. This is great for junk journaling in general. I highly recommend one of these. So I have to print or charge her. And then I have already some of these cards. These I was like organizing down there. These need to go in my junk drawer in the kitchen. So I'm gonna move those over there. And then I just pulled out some of these blocks, like these USB blocks. I always need them around the house to like charge things. So that's an extra little block. Love that it has two. I keep these also in my kitchen. And then I've had these in my office because I was like, where do I want to keep them? I have one in the car. And then I have the cherry one I just hauled. That's somewhere in my, because I was gonna like do another video with it. But this is sitting in my office. I need to figure out like where I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move this to my kitchen. So all of that is also gonna go in the kitchen. Then I found like random cute little flashcards. I'm like, yeah, I must have pulled these out myself. Anyways, I primarily use this, but I need to use it for junk journaling. But I primarily use it for this. Now, my good one is in my bedroom. We'll look at it in a second. Let me just charge these real quick. And I basically charge them over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of come down here. This also charges my mouse. So let me go ahead and get this block since it has the two, because I need to charge both of these, both of these things. So we're gonna charge that. Maybe I can get Micah to go on a bike ride tonight. I did find my planner that I bought specifically for this. Here she is, gorgeous. This is a budget planner, and yeah, I wrote like my goals already in here. Anyways, so yeah, I have actually done 2 of those 3 things, and I'm actually almost like gonna get close to my 3rd goal. So I didn't even realize this. Like, this feels like one of those like manifestation moments where you look and you're suddenly like, wait, like I manifested this. So I'm a little shook right now, but I'm gonna be inputting a lot of data in here. But I got to a point where I was paying the minimum monthly amount to my credit cards. And I have a lot of accounts. I have revolving installments. Like, I have a bunch of a big, nice variety, right, to keep my credit score decent. And I just was like, I was paying the minimum, and I'm like, oh my God, like, these balances aren't going anywhere, like absolutely nowhere. And if I looked, it was going to be like, let's say I owed them $5,000. I was going to end up paying them like 20 by the time it was like literally done and paid. And I was just like, no. I was like, no. I know it's going to hurt to pay off my debt, and I don't want to like get rid of that money, but I'm better off ripping the Band-Aid and just doing it. And I know not everybody can just like do that. I've been there. I've had no money. I've had no food in my fridge. I've had electricity turned off. My car's towed. I have gone through the ringer long before YouTube. Anyways, I know what that feels like. And so I am constantly grateful every day because I've lived that life. I've lived the, you know, I didn't just start off with like, you know, like money in my account and everybody helping me. You know, these were the days where I had a child, and it was long before GoFundMe's and people like, I just had no help, and I was paying for daycare, which I couldn't even afford. It was more than my rent. Formula, because she was on formula, and it was just, anyways, every day I'm grateful for my life. Every day, because I remember what that was like. And I just got to a point where I'm like, okay. And I guess a part of me is like, you know, I don't know if like I want to spend all this money to pay off all my credit card debt and stuff, but I'm like, I have to. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of giving them money. And so my original thought was that I was going to do a snowball effect, which is a very great way, especially if like you can't pay it all off at the same time. Snowball method is probably one of the better ways to do it. And that is where you pay like your lowest balance credit card off first. So let's say you have a credit card, it has a $500 balance or a $250 balance, and that's your smallest line. Pay that one off in full if you can. And then that way you no longer have that monthly payment, whether that was $10, $15, like you've paid it off in full. You no longer have that monthly debt, right? Then you move on to the next one, the next biggest one, and then you try to pay that off. Maybe it's $500 and you can't pay it off all at one time, but you can like split it into thirds, like one bigger payment every month, you know, for 3 months, and then you paid that one off. And hopefully by a year or two, and you can map all this out, by the way, like you can map it all out and you can see how long it will actually take you to do the snowball method. And when I looked, it was going to take me almost a year and a half to pay everything off. And I started doing the snowball method. I started paying it off, but then I was like using my card again and like that whole thing. And then recently I just started like really tackling it. Like I was doing the snowball method, but like very, very hard. And I'm not even done yet technically or whatever. And you have to know, there's like 2 dates. It's very confusing. Trust me. There's a lady I used to watch on TikTok, Color My Credit or something like that. She is the best, hands down. She tells you exactly like how to find the dates that you need for that credit card. And then when you use it, when you pay for it. And it's like, it will boost your score so good. And I do need a little boost. I feel like my scores, for whatever reason, is like, I think it's because I'm not using my credit properly, honestly. And that can hurt you. So even though I'm paying all this off, I'm trying not to use them, because what I want to do is pay them all off together. So when I start using them, I kind of have like this clean slate in my head. Kind of looks like this. Let's see. This was actually last year. Was this last year? Yeah, this was last year. So I have my calendar filled out all wrong, but it gives you like a fixed and all of these little things. And then this is where I want to keep track of my credit cards and like, okay, I need to use $50 here on this date. And that's what I want to like actually mark on these little month at a glance, like Capital One, use this, you know, this MasterCard, use this, Visa, use this. If you have a PayPal, if you have an Amazon, if you have a Kohl's or whatever, like, you know, use this. Actually, I had a Pottery Barn card, I closed it. I had a Wayfair card, closed it. So yeah, anyways, that is what I really want to do with my finances and in terms of with my credit score, because I do have a goal date in mind for buying a home. So what I'm going to be doing now that I've paid this off, because when I buy a home, one of the biggest things two things that I definitely focus on when buying a home: my credit, debt, which also factors in my credit score, and then that also factors into the second thing, which is your DTI. When buying a home, it's called DTI, which means debt to income ratio. What's your debt? Is your debt here? Is your income here? That doesn't look good. You want to you want to have more income than you do debt. So my goal, you know, in the next year or two to when I want to buy a home is to pay off my whole balance, and then I only use it for that credit utilization to boost my score. So let's say I have a $500 balance. I need to spend $50 that month. I might use that $50 to like pump gas. You know, I want to use it on things that like I already have to use it for. So that's where I really want to get very strategic. But because I do have quite a few lines of credit, I need to like be organized to know, okay, this card I have to do this I have to do this, and this I have to do that. So I will say in terms of like my credit score, it says that the like trade lines, the open accounts that I have, is a very good variety, mix, and quantity. So I'm right where I need to be. I don't need to open up any more cards. I don't need to do any more of those things. Like, I'm good there. So that's another thing you might want to consider if you are trying to and if you're struggling with getting a card, because I was there, I couldn't get anything. You want to do a secured credit card. That's basically where you give them your balance. So let's say most of them are like $200, $250, and you give your $250 up front. So that line of credit, that's $250, won't be there unless you pay for it first. Then you use your money, and then you pay it back, you use it, pay it back, and that's how you're going to build your credit. So that's one way to do it. But also, I'm not into finances, so definitely look up whatever you need to for your exact situation. But that is what I am trying to do. I literally just got so sick of paying these monthly minimum amounts, and it went nowhere, did nothing. I wasn't even close. It just literally looked like it all went to interest. Literally, that's what it did. So I don't understand. Like, was I supposed to pay this off in 50 years? Like a $5 went to principal. But yeah, I just got to a point where I'm like, I don't want to do this, but I have to. And that's what I've been doing. And I'm telling you, honestly, this is probably the best way I could spend my money, is just by paying all this off. It is, because next month I won't have 9 of these to even pay. So I don't even know where I was like going with that, but I thought maybe you would find that interesting. While I was down there, I bought a bunch of these like sticker art puzzles, and it's like literally stickers, and then you have to like find the spot and it builds the image. So I'm gonna start working on my little golden girls. I bought a bunch of these. I got them from Amazon. I'll link them down below. Then I found my coloring book, which I'm gonna start coloring again. Anyways, I think I'm gonna look for that in a second. This is like your color test page. So I just did like a bunch of really cute like little envelopes. But we have this one. This was one of my first ones. how cute, right? I will link the markers and all the things because it really does matter. It depends on like if you want to do a gradient effect, and markers actually do matter. You can't just like go in Crayola if you want to be able to blend, if that makes sense. If you don't want to blend, Crayola works just fine. You could do this with coloring pencils, crayons, it doesn't matter. But I like the markers where you can like, yeah, so. Anyways, I guess this will just be like a random little chit chat for today. But cute, right? Actually, I really ended up loving the yarn. I surprised myself with that one. This one I messed up and then I recovered it really well. This one I also messed up. It bled through and I got like some purple on it somewhere, like where you can kind of see it right there. So I added these purple dots all over the place. That one's really cute. Oh. I tried to make this like Ralph Lauren. This one. I think this is one of like Micah's favorites. I love the toaster, so cute. Why can I not get this one? Isn't that cute? I tried to do like a Dallas Cowboys thing with that one, like just like those colors. Cute. Is that my... Dang, I have two more. Why can I not turn it? Look how cute that one is. And so then I'm on that. So I'll link this one down below for you too if you want. So I'll link my little puzzles in this coloring book. I also got this one. This one's a little bit more intricate. There's a lot more going on with this one rather than like bold, like big and bold. Right, very simple, but they are really cute. I never thought that I would actually like coloring books like this. I thought I would more so prefer like the more detailed ones like this, but the bold ones are so cute. Did I just buy this from Amazon? I'm building Micah's boo basket and I swear no, it's not that one. It's a different one. But I could have just used this for her boo basket. But I guess I'll just keep it for myself. So I got that. And then I found this book. It's supposed to go up here for fall. So instead of this one's supposed to be on my little green thing. So I'm gonna put this one up. And then I'm gonna show you guys my 80s binder. So this is 90s. The blue is my 90s movies. And then green is supposed to be like the 2000s, like kind of thing, like the 0s to the 10, not like all of it. And then I haven't gotten into my 90s yet. And the purpose for this is just kind of like my guide for like what movies I want to watch. You know, so I've got Pretty Woman, Drop Dead Fred already printed on here. And I use that little printer to do it. But let me show you my 80s binder because that one is like really full. All right, eating a little bit of chocolate. I've been trying to organize it a little bit, but these little things, like, wait, no. These aren't the sticker printout because the things that you load are stickers, or they can be. These are the white little cards that I have behind it. Because when I tried to just put whatever printed out from that HP socket, procket, whatever the hell it's called, they were like floating around. So I had to buy these little cards and it keeps them nice and perfect. So it's an extra little step, but in my opinion, it's worth it. It keeps it more, because you don't want this stuff to fall out, and it does not fall out when you do this extra step. So you have to buy these. These I bought from Amazon. the binders I bought from Temu. I'll link them down below. I don't get any money through Temu, by the way. When I do link Amazon, I do make an affiliate. I do make a small commission if you like, you know, whatever. But anyways, so if I basically am like, I don't know what movie I want to watch, but I'm in the mood for 80s, this is where I come to my little binder. So, and here's how I do it. So basically, I go to Pinterest and I find the movie cover, and I want them to look like movie covers, okay? So I do want it to have, like, where they all look the same, if you will. So I look for the movie cover of the movie, and then I download that image to my camera roll, because I have an iPhone, and then you can Bluetooth to that little printer, and it'll Bluetooth into your pictures on your camera roll. So then I just print these from my camera roll, and that's how I do it. And then I stick it to these, and then these get slotted inside. I mean, the Time Bandits, When Harry Met Sally. And I do look up the 80s movies just to make sure that it obviously, like, you know, was released in the 80s versus the 90s. Because some of them, like, Pretty Woman was actually kind of like on both sides. Did I just spit? But I think Pretty Woman definitely leaned the 90s in terms of like when it was released. But I feel like when I first looked it up, I thought it was 1989. But hello again. Who's that girl? Oh my God, Roxanne. I was surprised Roxanne was 80s. I don't know why, but I thought that was 90s. But I've never seen this movie. Working Girl. Such a good movie. And as you can see, like, I have room for a lot more. So yeah, that's my little movie project. I really need to like finish it. I would love to finish it by spring of next year. I'm gonna just be like realistic for myself, but is this not the cutest thing?